Are you frequently in a state of fatigue? It might surprise you to learn that your cellular health begins to decline as early as 25 years of age. As you get older, your cell membranes start to become like Swiss cheese. The cellular damage is the primary cause of biological aging and could be the root of your fatigue. But there's a breakthrough supplement that's scientifically proven to repair and renew your body's cells. NT-factor lipids. NT-factor lipids are identical to the phospholipids found in your cellular membranes. NT-factor is the only solution proven and published in medical journals to repair those dead spots in the membranes. I've been using NT-factor for years. I don't go a day without it. NT-factor lipids comes in an easy-to-use powder in 2 convenient sizes. For more information and to order, just call 800-982-9158, 800-982-9158, or go to ntfactor.com. That's ntfactor.com for NT-factor lipids powder. Welcome to today's Intelligent Medicine Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Ronald Hoffman. It's your weekly opportunity to send questions to us and hear us attempt to answer them. I'm teamed with Leyla Mutin. It's our weekly Q&A with Leyla, something that I look forward to every week because we always have great discussions prompted by your questions. Questions at drhoffman.net is the place to send them. How you doing, Leyla?
Okay, Dr. Hoffman, how are you?
I guess we should be printing our I Survived the Winter of 26 T-shirts.
Oh, my gosh.
Because we had yet another snow dump here in New York.
Oh, my gosh.
Something that we haven't seen too much of in the past few years.
Yeah.
And, I was sort of gingerly treading over snow mounds today. I took a 4-mile walk through the streets of New York. And I have to say, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad because they did a pretty good job, pretty good cleanup job. And I was, with a few exceptions, some businesses that were negligent about cleaning up in front of their stores and establishments. Pretty much it was navigable around Midtown.
Yeah. The good news is this time around, as opposed to January, we didn't go into a deep freeze right after the big snow dump. Exactly. And that's everything. Things are already melting and slushy and I look out the window and there's snow falling off the roof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Like, look out. Here comes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, comes an icicle. Yeah, wear a helmet. So anyway, we both seem to have weathered it intact. I felt comfortable at home yesterday looking out at the snow, and I had plenty of good food. I had, prepared myself adequately for a home experience. So that was good.
Excellent.
And also managed, I have to say, my big experience this weekend was I got up early because here on the East Coast, 8 o'clock was the start of the hockey game, the big hockey game. I saw that hockey game live. And I have to say, I'm not the biggest hockey fan. In fact, the way that I found out I needed glasses when I was a little kid is that I couldn't see the puck, watching hockey. And so, so I'm a much bigger baseball, football, basketball fan. But I got to say, this has just reinvigorated my excitement over hockey. And, those kids, I just want to give them a big hug. Those American boys. Because my goodness, what grit, what determination, what endurance, and what skill and teamwork, camaraderie was required, and the women too. Although I didn't watch the women's event as well. It's just I think a source of pride. So anyway, we both were at something here in New York called the IHS. Leyla, tell our audience what the IHS is. It's kind of like everybody comes out of their winter thaw and gets together at this big convention center in New York.
At the Midtown Hilton, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. It's the Integrative Healthcare Symposium given by the Institute for Functional Medicine, which is great. And it happens around every February here in New York City, which is very nice. And it's 3 days, 3 really packed days, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. of all kinds of lectures and breakouts and lunch and learns and early morning yoga and other things. And
exhibits,
exhibits,
not to mention the exhibits. Many of our great sponsors were there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all fun. Really good turnout. I think they had almost 2,000 attendees this time around. The speakers are wonderful, especially the ones who tried and true, who basically started all this 21 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Bland, Dr. David Perlmutter.
All of whom have been guests on my program.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's also a guy who influenced me early on in the field of integrative medicine, Dr. Kenneth Pelletier. And I was very young and he was maybe a little older than me. So I was really surprised to see such a robust, vigorous looking guy at the podium who delivered a fabulous lecture. I mean, the guy must be 80 plus. And did you see Ken Pelletier?
I did not.
It was a really good lecture. So, he's walking the walk and not just talking the talk in terms of lifestyle and longevity, but a true pioneer in the field. Really good people.
So many people in their 80s. Jeff Bland is approaching 80. He said he will be on his next birthday in March. And there was another gentleman, was his name Heed or Lead, his last name, 87 years old. He gave the plenary, I think, Friday morning.
Oh.
And, he's 87. He said, before I came downstairs, I do 200 push-ups. That's what I do. Isn't that cool? Isn't that great?
Love it.
And he was just sharp as a tack and just everything. Didn't miss a beat. Nothing. Oh, my God. Love it. We're all going to live to 120, Dr. Hoff. It's true.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know. I know.
I just read an article, and it's actually prompting an article that I'm going to attempt to write next week about our future under AI. And the article was actually such a gloomy article that in the wake of reading this article, the stock market dropped 800 points.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is, I don't know much about stock market or, economics.
Time to buy.
But I would like to take a look at what AI may do for better, for worse, for the field of medicine, because it is fast overtaking us. It's a big tsunami, and it's going to hit us hard and really change our society in a lot of ways and change medicine. So I'm going to write that article for the newsletter.
They did some panels of talking about AI and all of that. And let's talk about some of them. I remember a couple of people saying that they were training their AI, their avatar, to completely consume their entire body of work over years or decades, depending on how long they're doing it, where now you could just go to the AR of, say, Jeff Bland or AR.
Here's the thing. I actually talked to my handlers, my kind of the folks who manage my social media, and they said, be careful with that, because what I could do is I have a lot of material that I put out over the last 40 years. Some of it's irretrievable, but a lot of it's still there. Things that I've written, and certainly even the things that I say during podcasts. And these things can be rendered into speech, or they can be rendered into written text. And you could go to the Dr. Ronald Hoffman or the Intelligent Medicine Agent. It's an AI agent, and its large language domain is not the universe. Because we don't want to be quoting Wikipedia articles about integrative medicine, because they're very they're biased. But just the things that I say, that would be the large language model for this AI. And then you could ask a question like, Dr. Hoffman, what do you think about curcumin? And then it'd be like, la, 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 la. And it would be, it could be written, or it could even be voiced. And if we really
you could
want
have
to
an
get fancy,
avatar.
I could have an avatar.
You could have an avatar, and it would be amazing. Oh my gosh!
And
I think that's what they're talking about when they're training them. They're training them to give the right answer, and not hallucinate or not take the wrong information.
And that's the problem.
Exactly.
And when you're giving out health information, you could have very strong disclaimers, like don't pay any attention whatsoever to what I say, and consult a medical expert. But there is a bit of a hangout liability around that.
Sure.
So I'm thinking about doing that because the technology is there. It might require a little extra work. I know people are doing that. That. And, here's the other prospect is long after I'd passed on from this mortal coil, we could have me in the cloud, offering advice to people in the 22nd century,
Oh my gosh. People can download Dr. Hoffman. Oh my goodness. That's something. Oh my God. It was like hologram or something.
Yeah, well, hologram, yeah. It's like
that would be
Dr. Hoffman
wild.
In your living room. Just put on your AR, your AR headset, and just interact with me and
Oh
whatever.
my God.
It's
the Wild West right now. It's totally the Wild West.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, any pearls that you learned in at the conference that you really think are?
There were some things that I actually wrote down. I love listening to Dr. Gio Espinoza, number one.
Yeah, I missed that. He's a frequent guest, and I really like hearing from him. What did he have to say?
Well, he was talking about how millennial men, people, between starting at the age, starting born in 1990 and up, they're having the same problems with older men, whether it's a loss of libido, fertility, ED, things like that. And it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And there were several aspects to all of that, besides poor diet, lack of sleep, too many electronic devices, the toxins, all of that.
Even pornography. I think pornography
was a big one because it kind of desensitizes men, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm sure women as well.
Right.
For that matter. There was a great lecturer, Boyana Yankovic-Weatherly, who talked all about Hashimoto's and things like that, really got intricate on what numbers should be and what to look for. And one of the pearls I got from that is that desiccated thyroid can trigger an antibody response.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've heard that, and I've been a little cautious in autoimmune thyroiditis to use that. I don't think that that's a hard and fast fact, but it is worthy of consideration that, perhaps you don't want to feed natural thyroid to people who are reacting against their thyroid. So maybe you want to use just the synthetic chemical version in those cases. I'm not entirely sure that is de rigueur, let's put it that way. But since a lot of thyroid is autoimmune, a lot Hashimoto's is in effect an autoimmune thyroid disease. I also heard Joe Pizzerno and his wife Lara Pizzerno talk about osteoporosis, and a lot of the stuff we knew, but they started from, this is something you'd like, is that osteoporosis drugs are no good. That they don't really, and they don't help that much. And they cited statistics showing that, you'd have to give dozens and scores and perhaps hundreds of women an osteoporosis medication to prevent one fracture.
Yeah.
So then they talked about the natural things, all the things that we do. They talked about calcium and magnesium and boron. They talked about environmental toxicity, and they said that, for example, cadmium toxicity associated with osteoporosis, and took a more, holistic, all of the above approach to this.
Yeah.
So that was good.
What I thought was fascinating was that maybe Parkinson's can be arrested or reversed because they're finding that the things that most affect or may cause Parkinson's are things like paraquat, trichloroethylene, glyphosate, which we have a question about, and PM2.5. I believe that's a
the small particles that you breathe.
Right. From all the the wildfires and all
when you
that
clean when you clean your windowsill, and
Yes, there's soot.
my apartment is painted white, and so it's pretty obvious. If I go even like 2 weeks here in New York, I could just run like a clean paper towel,
Yes.
with the Windex on the woodwork, and it's just picking up soot. And this is stuff that you're constantly breathing. The particles are often small enough to penetrate your lungs and go into your circulatory system and get to your brain. It's nasty.
Yeah.
So, when you can speak, I mean, look, frankly, at this point in my career, I know a lot of this stuff. And this is a little, like, why do people go to Sunday services? Basically, it's the same sermon, but it's a different permutation on the same sermon, right? I mean, it's the Bible. We pick a different part of the Bible and, read the part of the Bible, but you go because you're worshiping at the altar of whatever.
Yes.
And we're worshiping at IHS at the altar of natural and integrative medicine.
Exactly.
I also visited with a lot of sponsors there. It was interesting. We saw the people from some Big Bold Health. I met the son of Jeff Bland and his granddaughter there, and they're very happy with our sponsorship. We're getting the word out for them.
Terrific.
And Jeff is going to be back, and we'll also get a visit from Austin Perlmutter, who's David Perlmutter's son, who's also going to talk to us about Himalayan tartary buckwheat. We visited with the Timeline folks. Something interesting. Timeline is a New Zealand company. Guess where I'm going next month? I'm going to New Zealand. So I got an invitation. They're headquartered where I'm landing, which is in Auckland, the capital. And
fantastic.
I haven't, if I'm not too jet lagged, I'm going to make my way over to their facility in Auckland and pay them a visit. It's kind of
wonderful.
And so that's going to be interesting. And then they said, and then you can write it off as a business trip.
Right.
Go for it. So that, was always, fun to see. Of course, the people from Protocol, PFLB, Protocol for Life Balance,
Protocol for Life.
David Crosby and company, and Geraldine, and Neil Levin wasn't there because I think he was at another conference this weekend. So, it's kind of like old home week. I just ran into so many old buddies and friends and colleagues there. And it's actually the main reason I attend. And I missed it last year because I was scuba diving in Cayman Islands. So I was happy to be in town to be able to attend this year. You actually heard a lecture that you weren't too crazy about, and the guy caused a little bit of a mini riot there.
Yeah, well, all of us were fuming, but we were trying to keep our composure. He just kept beating us over the head with very old science of eat your whole grains and saturated fat is a demon.
Old food pyramid crew.
Really, the old food pyramid, because he hated the new pyramid.
This is Dr. David Katz, who has been a guest on the show a long time ago. But mean, I'm not on the same page with him because I think he's kind of adheres to the low-fat dogma still. Yeah.
And he just kept hitting us over the head with more and more of this very old, debunked scientific research. And we're all kind of looking at each other going, why is he here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here listening to?
There's a little, maybe for balance, because, the field of nutrition is a controversial field. And, I think
You're much more diplomatic about this than I was.
I know. But, look, it's a controversial field, and there still are, there are true adherents to the low-fat, low-saturated fat model, and who are in favor of abundant carbohydrates, especially complex carbohydrates. What they call complex carbohydrates is up for interpretation. We actually have a question around that we'll tackle later in today's podcast.
Overall, it was a great conference. I always come away from that conference feeling very nourished.
Right.
Just all very nourishing.
We practice a little bit in isolation to some extent, and we don't realize that we're part of a huge movement of thousands and thousands of people who really are health professionals who were, committed to getting the word out about natural interventions.
It's great to be around other colleagues and like-minded people and people who've been going for years, like we have been going for years, and others who are kind of new. They've only been attending for a few years, are very, very excited that there is a better way, a more gratifying way to practice medicine or nutrition or whatever they're practicing, right? They're finding that, okay, this is the right way to do things.
Yeah.
This is what I need to be paying attention to. It's terrific. It's wonderful.
Very inspiring.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff.
Mhm.
All right. Before we get to questions, we have a lot of questions
Yes.
today, so let's try to squeeze in as many as we can.
Yeah.
Let's allow one of our sponsors an opportunity to share an important message with us. So here goes. Listen up.
Now, more than ever, it is important to have a healthy immune system. Many health professionals agree that probiotics are a leading natural therapy for boosting immune health. Why? Because 70% of your body's immune cells reside in the GI tract. By taking a superior probiotic daily, like Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, you can enhance your overall immune system and immune response. The key to Dr. Ohhira's success is the 500-plus postbiotic metabolites that are in each capsule. Postbiotic metabolites are important to the regulation of most systems in our body. For a short-term immune boost, try Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus. Merging nature and science, Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus combines Brazilian green propolis, vitamin E, astaxanthin, and tocotrienols for additional and powerful immune support. Be proactive about your immune health. Ask your retailer today about Dr. Ohhira's probiotics and Dr. Ohhira's Propolis Plus today. Also available online.
Okay, folks, thanks for listening and thanks for supporting our sponsors. They are what make intelligent medicine continuing free resource to you. And now back to today's questions, or actually, let's start with today's questions.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
This comes from Bob. Bob writes, unfortunately, about 6 years after having CyberKnife treatment for prostate cancer, a 9-millimeter lesion has been detected by a PSMA PET scan within a lymph node on the pelvic right side wall. Although I'm waiting for my appointments with my local urologist, its team at NYU, the initial discussion seemed to indicate that ADT therapy will be at least part of the treatment process proposed.
So ADT is
not a security system.
Right. ADT was a security, like alarm detection, or something.
Right.
It's androgen deprivation therapy, which is like blocking testosterone to, in effect, starve the cancer. And it is part of treatment for more advanced prostate cancer. It's pretty successful at halting the cancer. It can certainly buy you time. It is not necessarily curative, but it is certainly putting a big roadblock in the progression of the cancer. And so what this represents is already metastatic prostate cancer. We could say, is this, kind of the Joe Biden kind of prostate cancer? Well, Joe Biden also had metastatic prostate cancer, and he's probably undergoing ADT because that's standard treatment. ADT, the downside is that it kind of induces male menopause to the extent that you still have testosterone sticking around. It's kind of going to take it to zero, blocking it entirely. And so men experience side effects, mood side effects, weakening, muscle weakness, muscle, accelerated sarcopenia, frailty, and sometimes hot flashes, sleep problems, similar to what women experience when they go through menopause without hormone replacement. And Bob
has a couple of questions.
Sure, go ahead.
In connection with this, I had 2 questions I'd appreciate your help with. Are there any supplements I should stay away from given this recurrence? I already know to stay away from B-complex. And would MitoPure and or NT factor help to combat the side effects of the ADT treatment? Or what about creatine?
Yeah. So I would, when it comes to, we want mitochondrial support. So I have very successfully used NT factor in cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. It's actually relieved their fatigue. I recommend it strongly. I can't think of a reason not to offer NT factor. So that, I think, is not controversial. When it comes to another form of mitochondrial support, which is nicotinamide riboside, or NMN, another form of NAD support. There's a test tube experiment which shows some acceleration of breast cancer in a mouse model, but also in a test tube model, but there's no evidence in humans. But I might suggest that, in cautionary principle, in an abundance of caution, to stay clear of the NAD support, because it may be that cancer cells harness NAD for their energy production. I'm not sure. I don't think the word is out on that. It's not, deadly poison, but, why go there unnecessarily? When it comes to the MitoPur product, it works in a different way. I think mitophagy is safe under cancer circumstances, might actually bolster energy. Creatine, I don't think there's any evidence that creatine promotes cancer, and creatine might be a good thing because sarcopenia is occurring when you kill the testosterone. And so I think that would be safe to use. And also creatine supports brain function. And, sometimes when you get hormone blockade, you feel kind of brain dead. Women in menopause feel, brain fog. And so, I would say that would be good. I think it would be advisable to make sure you have adequate protein because you're going to, and,
keep your muscle tone.
I would suggest maintain strength training. Strength training is going to be good because it's actually going to help stave off the accelerated lean body mass that occurs when you take androgen deprivation therapy. And
clean food. I can't think of other supplements to stay away from. Besides the NAD, what you were mentioning, Dr. Hoffman, and Bob already knows to stay away from.
The principle is that if you have cancer, it may, you can't just go into the health food store and take everything under the sun. Because some things, might interfere with the treatment, especially sometimes it can interfere with certain types of chemo. Actually, some treatments augment the benefits of chemo, and some treatments interfere with radiation, and some treatments may augment the benefits of immunotherapy. I don't know a lot of treatments that block immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is a little different. Since it harnesses the immune system, one might say, let's support the immune system. I wanted to say to Bob that the prospect for successfully treating the prostate cancer, especially if you're older. I mean, it's one thing if you're 35 years old, you might have 8, 10, 12 years of disease-free life with ADT. But, then you're going to find yourself at 45 or 50 with a more aggressive prostate cancer. But they are coming along with so many advanced treatments for prostate cancer that I think Bob's chances are good of not succumbing to prostate cancer, but, having a normal lifespan and living with prostate cancer. So this is not, it's not great
Cancer's
news. It's not a death, but it's not a death knell. It's not a death knell.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more like a chronic condition.
Yeah.
And something you keep tabs on. Right?
By the way, the scan that was used is a really precision scan.
That's
that
called
goes
a
beyond
PSMA PET scan.
It really goes to the prostate cancer. It targets the prostate cancer very specifically. And by the way, if he is positive for PSMA, if he lights up to PSMA, and at the end of his androgen deprivation therapy, he becomes a candidate for another promising prostate cancer drug, I believe, which is called Pluvicta, which is only good. Pluvicta, yeah. It's a very targeted prostate cancer drug for PSMA positive prostate cancer. But the person to ask is Dr. Gio Espinosa. Maybe we'll ask about, because he comes on frequently to update us on advances in treatment and prevention of prostate cancer. So, good stuff. I think I'm not happy that they found there was a breakthrough on this,
Yeah.
I know that he's been kind of grappling with this for a while from previous questions, but this should be an effective way to keep it at bay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not like things were, 20 years ago or even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The technology for treating this is so rapidly changing and encouraging and all of that. Bob, thank you for writing us. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, we've got a question from Caroline. Dr. Hoffman and Leyla, your recent discussion on weight loss drugs brings this question to my mind. Will the fact that my 47-year-old son, who's been on Zepbound for the past 8 months, he plans to continue, will it affect his sperm? As he's interested in having a second child? I'm concerned that the meds could affect the health of a future baby. With so many factors, including his age, affecting a baby's health, I wonder about this drug. He loves the weight loss. He doesn't want to gain back the 60 pounds he lost. Fantastic, Caroline. That's wonderful. He did experience constipation, but that was remedied with magnesium. He said there was some nausea, but felt like, the symptoms were worth the results he experienced. And you know what? In my own practice, Dr. Hoffman, I get the same.
Sure.
I get the same response of, I'm a little nauseated, but it's worth it because I've lost the weight. So, contrary to other comments, he still enjoys eating all of his favorite foods, but he just eats a whole lot less of it.
Yeah.
He likes looking in the mirror again. It's priceless. Thank you for all of your info and podcasts and everything.
At IHS, I had lunch with somebody who's on Mounjaro and has lost 35 pounds. And but I always hate having lunch with people who are on Mounjaro because I'm a clean plate guy. It's like I grew up with people are starving in Europe, so eat, clean your plate. And they just kind of push their food around while we're having a conversation. And it was like it was like the most virtuous meal. It was like a Caesar salad. And he kind of pushed it around and left half of it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it wasn't
that's the secret to supermodels. They take the plate and they push it around. You have to pay attention to movies. I tell people, look at the dinner scenes or the scenes around the kitchen table where people are eating. Think about or look at, pay attention to how many forkfuls are actually going in their mouth, because how many takes of this do they have to do to eat all of this food and so forth. So pay attention to the way people will cut something and then pause and say something and then put the utensils down while they listen to it. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to eat this.
Yeah. Well, I'm I'm a little bit too much, put the dog food bowl in front of me and like,
No, I eat too.
I have a hearty appetite, unfortunately.
I finish.
Or fortunately, I mean, it hasn't caught up with me yet because I guess I burn off a lot of calories. All right, so the question is, so there's two.
What might it do would it do anything to a sperm count?
Okay, so there's a couple of ways that this may work. It may be like certain drugs can directly affect the sperm, okay? And so it may not be that great if you're taking, say, some kind of chemotherapy, or if you're taking an autoimmune drug, could that affect your sperm? Even if you're taking testosterone, that's a birth control pill. That actually, taking outside testosterone will suppress your own sperm production. And so that's going to reduce your chances of conception. And there are medications, and, it may be that they have toxicity. We worry about the woman, like, make sure when you're conceiving, you don't take this, that, blah, blah, blah. Actually, there are things that affect men. To my knowledge, and according to the research that I've seen, that is not the case with these GLP-1 drugs. Now, it may emerge that that's the case. Now, a couple of other considerations. One is, as a woman, if you use a lot of weight very quickly, and we know this from female athletes who have what's called fat female athletic triad, they restrict their calories while they exercise like crazy, their periods will stop. That messes with their fertility.
Yes.
On the other hand, being very overweight can mess with your fertility too.
Like
so
PCOS.
It may be that he may get a boost in his fertility. He certainly could get a boost in his overcome some erectile dysfunction because, being overweight is sometimes works against your libido, your sexual function, your sense of personal attractiveness.
Exactly. It's hard to feel sexy when you don't feel good about the way you look.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. So
Sure.
I don't think that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I would consult with, a fertility specialist or,
Sure. Yeah.
but I don't think that's a problem. That may be a question to look up because there may be something buried somewhere in the literature that says that Zepbound has a deleterious effect on sperm quality, but I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
All right.
And that's
Caroline, there you
important
go.
question for the millions of Americans.
Oh,
who are
my
taking it.
goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Caroline, there you go. All right.
And by the way, Zepbound is the weight loss version, I think, of
For
Mounjaro.
Zepatide.
Mounjaro is the brand name of what they use for diabetes, and Zepbound actually has the FDA approval of weight loss. Identical drugs, but in different doses.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. We've got a question.
Good point. At which, time flies when we're having fun. We should pause because we need to divide our podcast into two parts.
Oh, my goodness.
So tell us what we have to anticipate in part 2.
Okay. Anne has been practicing intermittent fasting, but she's never called it that, but wants to know what you think about her eating schedule.
All right. We'll tackle that in part 2. And we'll talk about IF, or more properly speaking, a form of IF called TRE or TRF, time-restricted feeding or time-restricted eating.
Yeah.
Which is one of the ways you can practice intermittent fasting. When we return today, I'm with Leyla Mutin, who is my weekly interlocutor here on Intelligent Medicine. And if nothing else, you learned a new word. So here we be. Hopefully you learned something helpful that's applicable to your daily life or to the health predicament of a family member or loved one. We'll be back with more of today's Intelligent Medicine podcast. Questions at drhoffman.net is the destination for questions. Keep them coming. Our mailbox is always in need of new questions.
Yes.
We'll be right back.